The Traxxas TRX4M High Trail Edition has landed. We got our hands on a pair of these. We're going to be checking them out today. This is a follow-up to the initial reaction video that I did a couple weeks ago when this was first announced. But now we got our hands on the trucks and we're going to run them. So I'm really looking forward to exploring the key features and seeing what this truck's all about in person. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to check out the trucks. We're going to go over the key features. We're going to put it on the setup table so we can hit the RTI, the side hill, vertical, all those tests. We're going to put it on the indoor course to hit our usual challenge lines. And of course, we're going to go out and hit the rocks and have some fun. I'm really excited for this. This truck looks so much better in person than it did in the initial press release. I think it's going to be a blast. So let's jump in and check them out. Here's the High Trail, and doesn't it look glorious? Looks so much better in person. I just really love the look of this truck. I think Traxxas nailed it with the scale and the proportions of this thing. It looks fantastic. Now I got the blue and the red axle. My son got the red one. I got the blue one, although I secretly wished I would have gotten two red ones because I think the red looks so good on this truck. I love the blue, but there's something about that red with this timeless square body that just works. So we'll see. I might have to buy a red body for this one. So let's jump in. So if you've seen my initial reaction video, I went over in depth the key features of this thing, including some of the differences between the regular TRX4M and this new model. So I'll hit those just real quickly here, and then I'm going to focus on some of the additional things that I've noticed since getting my hands on this thing. So the most striking difference of this truck over the regular TRX4M is, of course, the lift. So this is much bigger. It's got a long arm lift kit installed on it, which gives it approximately 35% more clearance under the center of the body. That extra ground clearance and the extra room in the fender wells gives us the option to throw on these big oversized Mickey Thompson Baja Pro XS tires. They are mounted on these nice old school looking chrome plastic wheels. The body of this truck is new. This is an ABS body that comes in two different colors. It is officially licensed by GM. It's got great scale details all around it. Traxxas does a really great job with their scale bodies, and I think they just nailed it with this one. It has a chrome roll bar with LED light buckets. There are no lights installed yet, but they are ready for it, you can see. We've got clear taillight lenses in the back, no lights installed. Again, I imagine that there's going to be a pro scale light kit for this that will light all of this up. This body does utilize the clipless body mount, makes the removal and attachment of the body super simple. Underneath it, we can see some of the primary changes here. Now, to keep the scale look and to get that body to fit appropriately, Traxxas has elongated the frame. So the steel C-channel frame has been stretched just by a few millimeters to accommodate this body. Now, along with the long arm lift kit, Traxxas has utilized new suspension mounting on this thing. They've kept the same GTM shocks that are on the TRX4M, but they've utilized these shorter shock mounts. And that essentially just lowers the mounting points of the shocks. When you do that, you raise your chassis up. So that's how they were able to achieve the lift necessary to fit these big tires on here. Otherwise, it's pretty much identical to the regular TRX4M. We've got the Titan 180 87 turn brushed motor, 2S LiPo battery that comes with it mounted right here in the center. In the back, we have our multifunctional ESC receiver combo that has 3 different modes that you can toggle through with that button right there. This does keep the same drivetrain. We've got straight axles front and rear, although we do have chrome diff covers front and back. We maintain that impressive 45-degree steering angle on here. We have chrome bumpers front and back. This does come with a drop hitch that you would mount to the back of the rear bumper here. This is a ready to run just like the TRX4M. I mentioned the battery, the 2S LiPo battery that it does come with. It comes with a charger as well, and we get the Traxxas TQ transmitter. A couple of features that I've noticed, not really features, but a couple of noteworthy things that I've come across since opening this up and playing with it for a little bit are, one, the tires. So I knew it had these large tires on it, but I didn't expect them to be so soft and squishy. The rubber on these feels very soft. It's got a great compound to it. There's no inserts in these, and they are vented. If you can hear the air pushing right out of there. So the tires are much softer than I was expecting. And although they're vented with no inserts, they still have a pretty solid feel to them from a lateral force perspective. So they don't feel like they're going to roll that much. But we'll see when we get it on the course. Another thing is the bed. So while this doesn't have a full drop bed in it, it does have a significantly deeper bed than I was expecting. If you compare that to the Axial C10, it's got a much deeper bed in it. So if you did want to put scale accessories or any type of drop-in accessories in there, 3D printed, if you want to make your own or whatever, you've got more room in the bed than I was initially expecting. Now those are some of the highlights and the key differences from this model over its predecessors. Now let's jump in and see how it performs. I'm really excited to see how this thing works and how it functions. It looks awesome. I'm really anxious to see what the lifted body and the big tires and everything do to performance on this thing. So why don't we hit the setup table first, and then we'll hit the indoor course and go through our usual challenge lines. So let's get into it. Okay, let's hit the setup table here. First up is the RTI, Ramp Travel Index. We're going to test the articulation on this thing. I think we're about capped out right there. I'd say 15 on the RTI. Here's what I'm most interested in, which is the side hill. This is where we're going to see what all that lift and extra height does to the vehicle. So let's check it out. Oh, just at 40 degrees, I think we lose it. I'm going to give the vertical a shot. This is notoriously unreliable, so kind of take this with a grain of salt, but let's give it a shot. $50, $55, starting to lift. 55, we didn't slide off the table, so I think 55, 56 is a pretty accurate reading. Here we are on the corner scale setup. Let's check this thing out. So if you can see the results there. So we are 50-50 weight bias on this. This is with the battery in it. And just about 504 grams total weight. On the course with the High Trail, here we go. Let's run in the blue one. I've got this in crawl mode. See how it does. That hard body looks so good. Traxxas just nailed it with the appearance of this truck. Really, really like it. Get that sharp turning radius, that 45-degree turning radius doing work on the course here. So we got to be real careful with the height on this thing. That extra ground clearance getting us through that section really easy. This still has the straight axles on it, but still clearing that section with ease. Ah, so I would be shocked if it made it up that. Try a little bypass here on the easier section of the canyon. Doing good. Those big Mickey Thompson tires seeming to hooking up pretty well. They're really aggressive. Strong drag brake function in the crawl mode with the ESC. Does a good job there on the downhill. Head into Mini Moab here. Let's try the challenge lines just for the heck of it. I don't have huge expectations for this thing to be a stellar crawler, but let's try the lines anyway. Getting up and over the gatekeeper. Missing my crawler gears from my other TRX4Ms. This thing's doing pretty good though. Oh, I think it's gonna do it. Whoa. Pulls it off, a decent run up the escalator. Let's try some side hill. We saw the results on the setup table, but let's see how that translates into real world performance here, going across the base of the chute. These big squishy tires, despite not having any foams, there's not a lot of flex in the sidewall. Oh, still not very good on the side hill though, to be expected. But going up the chute, let's try this. Not bad. And Hell's Gate, let's give this a shot. Whoa, I thought we were going off. Okay, 3-try rule. I'm gonna try one more time on Hell's Gate here. Hold my breath here. It is already surprising me, surpassing my expectations. It's gonna do it. Oh my gosh, it made it up Hell's Gate. The High Trail does every line on the course. Very impressive. So overall driving impressions of this truck, I am pleasantly surprised at how well it does. I expected it to be ultra tippy and not have hardly any crawling performance whatsoever, but it has surpassed my expectations by a long shot, I would say. I have the 10th scale High Trail Ranger, and that's very, very tippy. But this, compared to its bigger brothers, feels much more planted. It is still top heavy, and side hilling is an issue, but it is much better than I was anticipating, which makes for an overall very fun truck because it looks amazing. It's so fun to look at and watch drive around, and pleasantly surprising how well it does. So I'm very impressed with this truck, and I like it more so than I was expecting. So I'm pleasantly surprised here. Look at the, man, the thing just grips. Very nice. All right, let's hit the bench and wrap this up. Let's talk about the TRX4M High Trail. Let's talk about what it is and what it is not. It is a great looking scale trail truck. It is not a hardcore rock crawler. Let's unpack the former a little bit. So I think where this thing really shines is the curb appeal. Traxxas just knocked it out of the park with the appearance of this truck. The iconic square body licensed by Chevy, the scale details, everything just comes together so well. They've just really done a good job with the appearance and the fit and finish on this truck. The tires I feel like are just the right size. These old school chrome looking wheels, everything just ties together so well. Just like the 10th scale high trails look so good, Traxxas just replicated that perfectly in the 18th scale size. The GTM shocks do a good job controlling the bounce of this thing. It's got plenty of wheel speed to get out on the trails and have fun, and it's stable and capable enough, more so than I was expecting, which allows for just a really enjoyable driving experience. Getting into real rock crawling performance, if you're buying this expecting it to be a serious rock crawler, you're going to be disappointed. We kind of saw the narrative shaping up on the setup table with the pretty abysmal side hill and vertical results. But let's be realistic, you got to level set your expectations when you've got a big lifted square body like this. You know it's going to be tippy, you know it's going to be top heavy. So of course, hardcore rock crawling and climbing performance is going to suffer when you've got an overall design like this and with a 50-50 weight distribution. Now I do think that you could easily improve that, widen the stance, put some weight down low and up front. I think you could definitely get some more performance out of it, but I will say it really surprised me in how well it performed, especially on the indoor course. When this thing made it up Hell's Gate, I could not believe it. I was totally shocked. So I am pleasantly surprised by how well it performs given how it was engineered. Overall, I really dig this truck, and well done Traxxas. This is just a cool, fun RC truck, and that's what it's all about. Now at the time of this recording, this is available in 2 different colors. It comes in the red and the blue. There is a black color that's available at exclusive Traxxas dealers only for the time being, but it will be available globally in a few months. Price on this truck is $174.99. It's about $25 more than the regular TRX4M. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of the TRX4M High Trail? And which body do you think they're going to come out with next? You know they're going to start releasing additional models of the High Trails, just like the big ones. Are we going to see a Ranger or a Blazer next? Let me know down below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.